Hello and welcome to everybody on Cloud Fitness. In today's video of Python series, we are going to see what are decorators in Python. We are going to see what are decorators, why do we use it, and how we can actually utilize the decorators in Python. So without any further delay, let's move on to our PyCharm editor where we are actually trying to, the whole playlist is actually being done on PyCharm code editor. You can use any editor of your choice. In this particular playlist, I am using PyCharm editor. So when we talk about decorator, right, a decorator is nothing but @ function. So wherever you see this @ syntax, that is nothing but it is a decorator. Now what is decorator and why do we use it? So when we talk about decorator, what does it do is it decorates the function. You can actually think or understand in that way, it decorates the function. Now function is already there and it decorates it. Now when I say decorates the function, it means that it takes the function as an input. Right, a decorator takes function as an input and modifies that function and gives you the output. Now the output is nothing but it is a modified version of the function. So decorator takes function as an input, modifies that function and gives another function, or the modified version of that function as an output. This is the whole concept behind the decorator. But now the other question you might ask is like, what is this and why do we even use it, right? So let's say you have a code where you have, let's say, hundreds of the functions. Let's say you have 100 functions. You have 100 function in that particular piece of code. Right now, let's say you want to run a specific command, right, at the start of the function or maybe at the end of the function. You want to, let's say, print a specific command, all right, or you might want to run another function before running each of those 100 functions. So now what you will do, you will go to each and every 100 function and then you are going to modify each of those function. Right now, instead of doing that, what you can do is you can create a decorator function. That decorator function will take your 100 functions as an input, right? And then let's say you want to print a statement before running each of your 100 functions. So it is going to print the statement and then run each of your 100 functions and then give the output, and then maybe run let's say another print statement after that and then give you the output. So this is the concept behind the decorator. So basically it is just a functionality which helps you in writing a clean and a better version of the code. That is nothing but that is a decorator. Decorates the function. To remember it, this is the best way. It decorates the function. It adds something to the function. How does it add it? It takes that function as an input, right, and it modifies that function. You might modify it in any way. Right now, what you see on the screen is a very basic program of the decorator. Now let's say look at this particular highlighted command that I'm showing, def function 1. So what is this? This is nothing but this is a function 1. And now look at this highlighted function. This is nothing but this is another function. Now this first function 1, it is doing nothing. It is a very basic function which is just doing a print statement. This is function 1. And the function multiply, it is nothing but it is taking two input parameters and then it is saying that the function, this is the function multiply and the output is a plus b or a into b. It should be into only, but right now it is plus. So, or let me put it as add over here, right? This is the function add and the output looks like this. Now this function is doing nothing but it is adding, right? And this function, what it is doing, it is printing a statement. Now let's assume you have 100 functions like this and you want to run a specific command or a specific function before running each of these functions. Right now what you will do, you'll have to go and edit each of these functions. Right now, instead of doing that, what you do is you go and you create a decorator. Now decorator is a function, right? Now decorator is a function. Now the moment I say decorator is a function, it is a function. You have to start using def keyword, right? Def is the keyword to create a function. You create this function def decorator and then you give the input function, right? Because it takes a function as an input, decorates it and gives the output function, which is the modified version. So it is taking input function and then inside it, right, what it is doing, it is running another function which is called the modified function, right? And what it is doing, it is going and printing one statement. It is saying this is the decorator function first line, and then it is executing the input function, whatever input function it takes, right? What decorator does, it takes an input function, right? So it has to execute that function as well, right? So it takes that particular, so first it is doing the print statement, then it is executing that input function which it has taken, and then again it is running a print statement, right? So this is nothing, these print statement is nothing, but it is a kind of a work that you would like the function to do, or kind of a decoration that you would like to do on top of that function. It can be anything, right? And then you return the modified function, right? So this is what exactly a decorator is, right? I'm going to talk about this arguments as well, and args and quarks as well. So I have already created a video on args and quarks.py, right? If you see this particular Python file, this is what we have discussed in our previous video on arguments, right? Arguments and the keywords arguments. So I hope you have watched that particular video, because that is a concept which is also being used here, you know, to demonstrate. So now what is the use of args and quarks? So basically you might have a function. Now if you see this function 1, this is a, you know, this is not taking any parameter, right? It is just a simple function and it is printing. Now you might have a function which is taking the input parameters, right? So if you see this addition function, it is taking a comma b, it is taking 2 parameters, and then it is doing the sum for those 2 parameters, right? So now to make it even more versatile, to make the development even more versatile, what is being done here is, when it takes the input function, right, and when it tries to modify that function, it takes these arguments and the keyword arguments, right? So if there are any arguments passed, right, then it is going to take those arguments. If there are any keyword arguments that are being passed, it will take those keywords arguments, right? And then it will execute the input function on those arguments, right? If there are arguments, it will take it. If there are no arguments, it is not going to take it, right? So I hope you have watched that video, so that this concept is very clear to you. So this is nothing but this is another usage of arguments and the keyword arguments over here. So now let me just uncomment this function 1, right? So the moment I uncomment this function 1, and if I run this, now you can see what will happen. Let me show you the output at this point, and you can actually see the first line that is printed is, this is decorator function first line. So now the moment I run function 1, what it does is it goes to this particular function, right? Now when it goes to this function, you have also mentioned at the top @decorator. So the moment it goes to this function 1, it checks that okay, something like @decorator is mentioned, so I need to go to the decorator. It goes to the decorator function over here. Now this decorator function takes the input function, which is nothing but this function 1, right? And then it goes here and it prints that this is the decorator function first line, which you see in the output. And then it runs the input function. Now input function is nothing but this is the function that you have done, which you have inputted it, right? Now this has a print statement that this is a function 1. So it runs that particular function and it prints that this is function 1. And after that, it again prints this particular line that this is a decorator function second line, and done. And your command is pretty much clear. So this is how exactly your decorator and decorator function works. Now similarly, if I run again using the function add. Now the moment I run this, function add 1 and 2, what it does is it goes to the function add. Okay, it says okay, my function add is here, line number 16 and 17. It checks that okay, it has something like @decorator written. So it goes to the decorator, it takes this function add as the input function, and then it goes to modified function. It says okay, there are arguments or there are keywords arguments, are they present? Okay, it sees that okay, there are arguments present, a comma b. So it takes in those arguments and it runs the input function on that. Now what is the input function? It is nothing but the function add only. Now then what it does is it prints this statement that this is function add output a plus b, and that is what you see over here. A plus b is 3. Then it has again this print statement to print, right? This is the decorator function second line. So this is how the decorators actually work. And what is the syntax? You have to write @. @ is the syntax. Now this decorator is the name. Okay, it it is the name. You can give any name over here, not necessarily the decorator. You can give any name, but this concept itself is called a decorator. So I hope you liked this particular video, you understood the concept, and you will never learn a concept until you implement it. It is very straightforward. Until you implement it, you are never gonna get what I'm trying to say. You are never, even if you understand it in one go, until you practice it with your own hands, you are never gonna get it. So I do recommend doing it, typing it with your own hands, spending some time thinking about the use cases of it and trying to develop it on your own. So I hope you like this particular video. Do remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel.